they'll be stunned.
Yeah.
This gives me time to swap over to Facebook. Okay, YouTube is up and going.
Some of the coaches sent me some kind of summaries of what they did.
Basketball, stuff like that.
Well, cheerleading sent one, basketball.
Okay.
Cross country's got a couple of kids they want me to mention.
Yeah.
So that type of thing, that's good. That's what this is for.
You got a pen?
You know what? I think it's not one in my pocket, but I might not have.
I was going to write cross country on that.
One of those.
Scheduled. All right, trying to get Facebook up and going.
All right.
You know, Cross County.
Cross County. Damn allergies. Man, pollen is
Start number 2.
Unreal.
I know it's bad every year, but my gosh.
When you walk outside, it's the color of the top of your coffee
Yeah,
cup.
well, and it's and I know there's smoke involved, but it's just like a haze everywhere.
Yeah. You don't know if it's smoke or pollen.
Right,
really,
right,
honestly.
right. Casey, okay, never mind.
I'm still trying to get this one to go.
Facebook.
Yeah.
What do you have up right now? Just the image?
Do I need to see if I can tell it to go?
No, I'm the stream software.
Oh, okay.
It's me. Okay, what's going on? Because it should be going.
Now, I've got the option to start live video from my phone. You want me to do that? But it's going to come. It's going to do it through my phone then.
Yeah, that's what I'm working on. What's odd is, let me stop that one. Open up this one. Facebook stream keys scheduled.
So YouTube seeing us?
Yeah, somebody's already said, hey.
Yeah, okay, YouTube. You guys watching on YouTube. We're trying to get the other side of this on Facebook up and running, so just hang tight. We will be up and moving momentarily. But whomever it was that said, hey. Agreed. Thomas County all the way. And we checked all this afternoon, by the way.
Shocker.
Yeah. Everything's working perfect.
Always.
Yep.
To start.
Something just came up.
It's me still.
The software's not working?
No, just Facebook wants to be a turd.
I think that was one we always had problems with earlier.
Yeah. That's not a shock. It's always something to do with Facebook.
All right, so that says it's oops. That says it's activated. There we go.
Cooking with heat.
Go live. And everybody should see Facebook starting to pop up.
Awesome. Only a couple of minutes. We're doing all right.
So,
It ain't bad. You want to play that theme music for a minute or two while we're getting rolling? I guess we're ready to go. As Casey gets the fight song to go away, at least for the moment. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the inaugural Swarmcast. A look at Thomas County Central Athletics. We appreciate you guys being here with us as we're now up and running. For some reason, as technology is wont to do, we checked everything, test drove it this afternoon. Everything's perfect. And then we get in here and try to get it to go, and it won't go. But now we're going. Randy Young, of course, with Brian Davis here tonight. Casey Massey, the tech master himself, sitting over there trying to make sure everything's working as he's panicking, trying to get all the buttons and whistles and everything else moving along.
I'm not panicking.
We are going to give you a look inside all that is Yellow Jackets tonight. We're going to talk with head coach Justin Rogers in a little while. He's going to call about 7:15 or so. We've got Ryan Strickland, the head baseball coach, coming on about 7:45. We've got a little thing called Yellow Jacket Flat.
And your spring sports that are really in full action right now.
Yeah, and the good news is unlike a lot of places, all of the programs that we've got, for the most part, are competing at a championship-type level. And that makes it real easy to talk about them. And also, we want your feedback. If you got a question or a comment on Facebook, just type it up and post it. If you're on YouTube, type it up and post it, and we will try to get to it. And we will share whatever questions and so forth that you've got with Coach Rogers and Coach Strickland after we're talking to them to kind of give you an overview of what this is going to be. We want it to be interactive with you. We want you to be able to have a chance to say some things or express some opinions or to share your questions. And at least schedule-wise, and I'll say this now and I'll share it again later on, I think we're going to try to do these at least in the spring every other week.
Yeah.
So we'll do the second and fourth Thursday of each of the months. So,
and we'll let you know ahead of time before we do it.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And Jamie Majors will be joining us. Jamie tonight had some scheduling conflicts, so he's not able to be here tonight. But from here on, he'll be able to be here. So if you'll go ahead and just kind of plan on the 28th of March, we'll do this again, and then we'll come back the second week of April and do the same thing the fourth week of April, and then all the way up until the end of May. And then we'll come back in July, the end of July before football starts. And my plan is, Brian, we'll do them every week.
Yeah.
Whenever we're in football season, because, of course, again, the interest level is just ridiculous right now, and deservedly so. So once we get past the spring, then this will be something you can look forward to doing every week. So,
and one thing we're going to attempt to do, too, also is to re-release what we have tonight so you can go back and watch it the following day on two different ways. You can go back on YouTube and watch it via YouTube on the TCCHS Yellow Jackets YouTube page, or we're going to have a Podbean link so you can go back and listen to the audio on a podcast format. So if you're working, you just want to listen to us while you work the following day, it'll be up for however long it takes till we get to the next show, so you could go and listen to us in audio format, which I think is, makes it easy for you to listen to us. Because Lord knows I get not wanting to look at us, but you can at least listen to us.
Well, I know I've got some folks that are friends of mine that are truck drivers and so forth, and they like being able to tune into those podcast things. And again, it's a good idea.
Right.
And if you are on Facebook and you're watching, share it. Share it on your page, and so your friends will see it. And just encourage everybody that is going to be tuning in to share it as well, because we want to make sure that we get as many folks tuned in and plugged in as possible. We're going to talk a little bit when Coach Rogers calls. We're going to talk about the scholarships that were signed by our football guys, 9 of them. Very, very impressive. And in fact, I think that's a record. I don't remember us ever having more than that.
And that's the one cool thing about this show is, see, now you get to pick up in a different part of the season that we don't necessarily get to talk about more on a public platform like we do here besides social media. And so now we get to actually go a little bit more depth about this, the process that it takes to get these guys signed, to get these guys, to the next level, because, they play for your Yellow Jackets for so long, and they're Yellow Jackets, and then they get to the point at the collegiate level, the hard work and dedication by both the players and the coaches to get these guys to the next level. There's a lot that goes into that, and so it'll be interesting to hear from Coach Rogers and all that took place to getting these young men signed and getting them to the next level.
Well, and kudos to our coaching staff.
Oh, big time.
Because they really did a fantastic job getting our guys. Of course, whenever you win a state championship, you're going to be out in the public eye to begin with, but they really, really worked hard to set it up so that the maximum number of guys, and there may be others still to come that did not get offered because of whatever reason. So I don't know that the recruiting process for the football team is officially over.
Well, and one thing about it is, too, you have the success that you had this year going into college. If the guys necessarily go to college, then you get the opportunities where you have preferred walk-on situations where you may not be on football scholarship, but you can get the chance to get there. And there's a lot of guys that go that way too.
Yeah.
So like I said, it'll just be a neat talking point to actually go on this side of football season and see what takes place.
Well, I want to point out too, some of the colleges that some of our guys signed with, I've had some folks ask me about them. And to be honest with you, some of them I'm not real familiar with, but in this day and age, it doesn't matter where you go.
Right.
If you've got that door open, once you get there and you prove yourself, you can pretty much go wherever you want to go. Or as long you can go where you're wanted.
Yeah.
So, again, I know that some of the guys, Trey Brenton is one that comes to mind. I mean, I still contend that Trey is the best running back I saw the whole year.
Yeah.
Regardless of who we were playing. And I'm no offense to Usmani Kroma, who is unbelievably good too, but Trey was as good or better than anybody. And I think before it's over with, you'll see a Trey Brenton, even though, let me see, he signed with Lenore Ryan is the name of the school. I think you'll see Trey somewhere a little more visible before it's over with. But again, you got to get in there, prove yourself, and then the doors start opening.
I mean, how many guys do you see come out of a collegiate level now that come from a smaller school just out of the blue, and all of a sudden they're contending, for a Heisman or national championships or different things. So
absolutely,
it's very important and very cool on how that works to me, and how they get the opportunity to go to these schools and then know that it's a stepping stone to eventually get to the spotlight. And young men like Trey Brenton, they have all the world ahead of them, for sure.
Yep. Well, again, exciting times. And, again, if you're a Yellow Jacket fan, it's just good stuff. And, Casey, we got Coach Rogers.
Hey, Coach Rogers.
Hey, man. Coach, this is Randy Young along with Brian Davis. How you doing, Coach?
Man, I'm doing great, brother. I'm doing great. I'm watching Little League Baseball, brother, so we don't get no better than that.
I heard somebody hollering back there. I was hoping that one of your youngins. I was going to say, wait a minute now. Hold on.
Nah, I got a little scrimmage game. Got open day coming up Tuesday, so we got to get out, knock the rust off, get ready to start this baseball thing up with Cooper, my boy.
There you go. Well, first off, Coach, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Oh, heck yeah, absolutely. Thank y'all. I think it's a cool little thing y'all got going right. I think this is neat.
Yeah, well, we've talked about doing this for quite some time, but again, with the interest level being what it is right now, everybody wants to hear everything Yellow Jacket, so we figure we go ahead and serve the plate up while it was hot and full.
Yeah, you can't blame them. I'd want to know about the Yellow Jackets myself.
Amen. We were sitting here talking about the guys that signed scholarships, Coach, and I'll run the list off so we don't leave anybody out. Caleb Anderson going to Pikeville. Trey Brenton, we mentioned him. Lenore Ryan, Ty Brown, Valdosta. Taiwan Christopher, Kennesaw, Jimmy Dawson, Albany State. Clayton Hutto going to Pikeville along with Caleb. Walter Reddick, Jacksonville State. Devin Ross, Kennesaw. Malachi Thomas heading to Pitt. That's an impressive group, Coach.
No doubt. It's It's a great group of very talented players, very players that play with a lot of emotion and pride, and very good young men as well.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind all of them will go do great things at the respective universities they're going to, just because of the kind of human beings they are.
And I'll tell you now, from a personal standpoint, of course, I'm proud of all of them. But when I see Clayton Hutto's name on there, that really makes me glow.
Yeah, those are the ones, Clayton, and you just is what kind of provides more oil in your lamp, man, while you coach.
Yep.
Because you just see the growth and maturity of a young man. I mean, they're little boys, and over this span of their high school career, they start developing into the men they're going to become. And you saw that with Clayton. I mean, I saw it just being here 2 years with him, the maturity process and the way that he kind of handled his day in, day out behaviors and accountabilities that he had to take care of. And so, man, I'm so happy for him. And like you said, no doubt, pulling for all of them, definitely pulling for him.
Well, and as much as folks saw him grow, and I think this is what you're kind of alluding to, as much as folks saw him grow as a football player, he grew even more as a man.
Ain't no doubt, without question. He was always so talented.
Yep.
And sometimes, he would just let his emotions get the best of him, and just seeing him work through that and work. And we all are like that.
That's right.
Shoot, I'm 45. I still got to work through that. And, work through that and kind of come to terms and be able to handle some adversity, because adversity is going to hit. And you're right, man. Just awesome.
So kind of update everybody on what is going on now. I guess the conditioning and all the stuff that is so important in the spring has already started.
Yeah, we're second verse, same as the first. And so January we started our off-season program, and so January and February it's all about lifting, getting bigger and stronger, doing a lot of speed work, doing a lot of change of direction things, and then we do our competition days on Thursday, which is both team building and character ed type days for us on those days. And so you kind of heavy into that for those first 2 months. We're trying to put our winter coat on.
Right.
And try to get as big as we can get. Now you're in March, and so March transitions over to a little more football. So now you're getting some football installs. Coaches are meeting with their players. We're installing the spring install schedule and what we plan on doing. You got kids that have been kind of moving around positions and kind of going to some new positions now to learn. So all that's going on this month. We've been on that pretty hot and heavy, trying to make sure that you lead up into April for a very good spring.
Right.
Now, another thing we're doing right now is our 8th grade, we work with them every Monday and Wednesday afternoon. So all the varsity coaches work with them in our Stinger camp. It gives us a chance to get to know them personally, to build a relationship with them, to put a face to them. And then, again, try to get them in the right position to where we think they can be successful as we go into spring and April. So that's kind of where we're at now in our program. It's a 12-month process, so you just kind of stay the course and try to make sure you're hitting those landmarks as you go.
Hey, Coach, it's Brian. I was just going to get a quick word from you about, of course, a huge congratulations to Coach Clark in the position that he took. But I wanted to get a word from him about our new defense coordinator. A lot of people, once Coach Clark left, they were kind of scared of what was going to happen. But I think you made a heck of a hire, and I just wanted to get a quick word from you about our new defense coordinator. Yeah,
no doubt. We're all excited for Cam and very happy for it. It was just kind of one of those unique situations. One of his best friends that they knew each other back in Auburn was at SMU and got the OC job at Duke, and so obviously there was a connection there. And he got the opportunity to go up there and work with Diaz on the defensive staff, and you can't blame him for go up there and chase that dream and go do it. So got a bunch of Blue Devil fans now, but Will had already came over twice. Meeting with our defensive staff, because at Ware they were going to transition to more of this hybrid 4-man front that we run instead of the 3-5. So he was interested in it and he wanted to run it, and this is what he wanted to do. And as he was coming over here meeting, and I was getting to I always knew it, but I obviously didn't know him personally like that, just knew him through coaching at camps and things like that. So as he was here, he kind of alluded to, he's got a father, he's from Cairo, got a father in Cairo and all that. He said, man, one day I'm going to have to get over here closer, because I was looking for an outside linebacker coach, and so he was kind of joking about it then. So when Cam called me on a Sunday night and told him that he was going to officially take it, I called Will immediately that night and said, hey, look here, man, are you really interested in running this defense? Is this what you want to do? And he said, yes. I said, well, why don't you just come do it here then? I was like, if that's what you want to do. I said, we'll keep all the verbiage and terminology the same. You come over here. Him and my linebacker coach, Seth Boyette, worked together for many years.
Oh, okay.
There you go. That's
cool.
Right there at Pierce and Ware.
Mm.
And so they had been together for quite a while. And Seth moved here for family reasons as well. And so when I pulled him from Ware, so it worked out really well. He said, Coach, let me sleep on it. He called me back the next day and said, heck yeah, man, it's a great opportunity. If you're offering, I'm taking. And so you got a guy that's been there, done that. He's been in the pressure cooker moments. There's not going to be a situation that's too big for him.
Right.
He's been there, and he's one that's willing to keep everything the same.
Yeah.
I joked around. I said, man, we're doing it Saban style, brother. We ain't changing a single terminology, verbiage, defense, nothing. We just plugged in a new guy, brother.
Right.
And but that's just a testament to Will, man, the kind of person he is. So we've hit the ground running with him, and then we hired an outside linebacker coach that we kind of a position we didn't have. The coaches are stars and our Bucks, where Jimmy and Christopher played. And he was a GA at Troy, all right, Hunter Reese, and played the position. Then coached it with Tumka in Alabama for 1 year, then went back to Troy and coached at Troy, and now coming to us now too. So those two additions to our defensive staff, we think would be really good for us.
That's awesome.
It's pretty sportive.
Well, and of course, too, Coach, with all the success that we had this previous year, it's so hard to keep that coaching staff together because, I understand everybody wants to get opportunity and things like that. But you, to me, did a fantastic job of keeping everybody together, number one. But number two, finding guys that fit the bill to, like you said, not necessarily come in and change things, but come in and just keep the grease wheel moving,
Plug and play.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Like I said, these last 2 years were really great. I mean, I've been doing this now 10 years as a head coach. And these last 2 years, the first 2 years, I had everybody come back for 2 years.
Right.
So it doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
You're always having coaches that want to go off and chase their dream, whether it be to go to be a coordinator or go to be a head coach in those situations. So, and you want to push. I mean, you don't want to, hey, these are my toys. Y'all should go. No, you want to push and help
That's
people.
right.
But you're right. We're a very attractive job. We're a great location. We have a great program that's got tradition. I mean, that matters, man. You go look at a program and they never won one.
Right.
Yep.
There's a reason why they never won one. You go look at a program won a bunch. There's probably a reason why they won a bunch too.
Yeah.
And so you got a great situation here. So there's no doubt it helps attract some of the better opportunities.
Well, and I want to say, too, on the outside looking in, the community is a draw by itself.
Sure.
And then you add all that other stuff in there, it's hard for somebody to say no. I mean, that's
no doubt.
That's a good thing.
I'm sitting out here right now watching these boys play Little League baseball right here. It's just this community is such a throwback right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a community that still values family and really old values of the village raising kids.
Yep.
Where the village wants to be active participants in the upbringing of the youth of this town.
Yep.
Man, I've lived a lot of places. There ain't no knock on nowhere else. But this is a special place.
Yeah, no doubt. So, Coach, now the big event coming up is the banquet coming up on the 27th, I believe.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The 27th. We did it on a Wednesday night, that last Wednesday night before spring break.
Now, I'm not going to let any cats or jackets out of the bag, I should say, but that's going to be a very special night.
Yeah, we hope so. Yeah, that's why I usually do it in January. So there's a reason why we held off till we held off.
Right. I
hopefully have some hardware to hand out.
I wasn't going to say it. But yeah, that's it.
I'll address the elephant in the room.
That's a good elephant. That's a good elephant to have.
Ain't no doubt, brother. No doubt.
No doubt. Well, Coach, again, have you had a chance to take Mrs. Rogers off for a little vacation or something? Because I know that was something she was talking about before the season was get the head coach to take the wife somewhere to do something other than football.
Man, what you talking about? Heck yeah, brother. I bought a daggum travel trailer, man.
Woo!
Shoot, we done went off, man. We like the Clarks, man. We just hook that thing up, go where we want to, man. Hey,
I saw that.
With us. Hey, I feel like on family vacation. Don't get too close, though. It's leaving with us when we leave. And
It's
Clark
on an RV.
Clark Griswold. You're Griswold.
That's right. So we did that, and then we went and caught a concert. We're going somewhere spring break with the kids. But yeah, I really did. Joking aside, we got that thing, just so it would kind of force me to go do things in my breaks. And, my main breaks are spring break, Memorial Day, 4th of July. I mean, that's the main three.
Right.
It's 12 months gig right here. And so you got those three main gigs, and then Christmas we're having to see her family, my family, because we're not from here.
Right.
So we got it to hit those three marks, and so we're about to hit those three marks coming up in a couple of weeks, with spring break being the first one. And so, yeah, we're looking forward to doing some family vacations and get away with just us. But, yeah, we did sneak her away already once.
Good. Okay. Good. Keep peace in the valley. We got one quick question. Question posed here from one of the listeners here, Coach, asking about your feelings about the new region and the new schedule staring us in the face.
Yeah, man. We traded Tiff for coffee, man. I don't know if that's a fair trade. It's obviously the region prepares you. I mean, the 4 teams that get out of this region going to make noise. It don't matter what order they're in. You just shake them up in a hat and throw them out. And those 4 teams right there are going to be trouble in the playoffs for anybody who draws them, because there's just some really good football in this region. So whoever comes out of that 4. We had the natural rivalries of Bainbridge, Cairo, Thomasville that we were able to keep on and continue to play, and we hope to be able to always keep those on and continue to play. And we had hoped to be able to add some more South Georgia rivalries, but unfortunately wasn't able to get it completely worked out. But we're able to buy out 2 teams, and so we got Monroe from Albany going to come open up with us both years for our first game, which would be nice to give our fans more home games.
Right.
And then we got Florida High coming out of Tallahassee. And that's a team that always has Division I talent.
Yeah.
Always has, guys that's going to be able to push you speed-wise,
yep,
and things like that. So that'll be a great test to us as we bounce into region play, just because they're going to be able to put some athletes out there. And then I love our scrimmage game with Lowndes, because that'll give you a lot of answers to some guys in new positions early on.
And for the spring now, it sounds like we're going to have our spring game will be an inter squad scrimmage type thing.
Yeah, man. I even posted as early last week again, trying to find one. And there's a lot of programs. The state's about 50-50, whether you like to play them or you don't.
Right.
I typically like to play them. Perry wanted to play somebody closer to where they're at, which is understandable.
Mm-hmm.
And so then we reached out to people and, try to reach out to Colquitt, but they agreed to play Coffee. And then Lowndes didn't want to, they don't do a spring game. I reached out to Carrollton. They don't do a spring game.
Yeah.
I reached out to Camden, the new head coach. I don't think they want to do one. Wayne County just got a new head coach, and he got a text from me. And he has not texted back. So I don't know that he wants to do one.
Right.
And so then you have a lot of smaller schools around us that just simply, and you can't blame them. I mean,
right.
They're not going to A, play us, and then B, spring football is totally different for those schools because they're having to share so many athletes.
Right.
So it looks like it's going to be an inter-squad. So what we'll do is that Saturday morning that you see on the schedule, that will be a true inter-squad ones-on-ones. Best versus the best. Let's go get it.
Right.
And then that following Friday, we will do a blue and gold, and I'm still kind of working through the draft of how I'm going to do this, but we will draft teams, and it'll be true blue and gold. It may, whoever gets Jalen, all of a sudden the other team gets all the starting wideouts.
Mm-hmm.
We'll work out some kind of rule. We'll work out some kind of rule like that, because that'll be a big draft. I'm sure he'll be the number 1 draft pick for whoever gets the first pick in the draft.
Right.
We'll split the coaches. We'll split the coaches and have the coaches coach against each other. I ain't gonna run sideline to sideline. We're gonna make them coach against each other. We'll have fun with that one.
Yeah,
but we'll get all our work in on that Saturday morning.
Absolutely, that's a great game plan. And I know what you're saying, Coach. All those spring games become very subjective to the schools and the communities and where they are, and that's tough. I mean, I get it. That's tough.
It is, and so I mean, it ain't the end of the world if you play one. I like to. But if you don't, it ain't the end of the world,
right.
Especially in Georgia, because we get to do so much in the summer.
Right.
And so we're going off to an OTA again over in Brunswick, and we'll have Brunswick and Ware over there. And then we've got ours that we host in July, to where we've got Creekside coming out of Atlanta, a really talented team, Troup County coming down out of there. And right now, Coach Littleton and Tiff is talking about coming and bringing his guys for the OTA here. And so when you can do those things in the summer,
right,
it's not that big a deal if you don't get a spring game.
Right.
Biggest thing is getting them 10 practices.
Right. Absolutely. As long as you get the work in, that's what matters.
That's right.
Yep. Well, Coach, listen, go enjoy your game. We're not going to keep you any further. Appreciate you calling. We'll talk to you in a couple of weeks after the banquet and catch everybody up with how that night went, and looking forward to that too.
Heck yeah, man. Thank y'all so much. And like I say, I'm excited about this little adventure we got going. It's a great time to be a Yellow Jacket.
Amen, brother. Preach it. Thank you, Coach. Coach Justin Rogers, you don't have to worry about having something to talk about.
He makes it easy
with
to
Coach
interview.
Rogers.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an easy interview right there. Let's see here.
You want to do your flashback?
Yeah, I want to go ahead and offer the Yellow Jacket flashback. Now, I'm going to throw something out to our fans that are watching, and I'm going to see if anybody responds. Now, Brian, your eyes are better than mine, so kind of keep an eye on this. If somebody answers, let me know. And I'm going to plant this seed, and then we'll talk about some other stuff until somebody gives us an answer. We're about to hit March Madness, and there is only one player from Thomasville or Thomas County that has ever won a national championship at the collegiate level. Who is it? Let's see if somebody can answer that one.
That's like, in the college games, how they have the question, and you get 2 commercial breaks to answer it. That's pretty good.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see if somebody comes.
I'll give you a quick little tidbit, though. We talk about region play with football. All right, so 4 of the teams in Region 2, 5A, which is our new region, have won a state championship within a decade.
Yep.
4.
Yep, that's crazy.
I don't know any other region in the state of Georgia that can say that.
Well, let me say real quick, it is not Charlie Ward. Charlie made the Elite 8 with Florida State, but never won the national championship. And it is a Central guy, by the way, of course, that won the national championship.
I figured it would be, just.
I would hope so.
Let me give you a couple of updates on some of our sports. Megan Nick sent me a thing about cheerleading, which is awful cool. They ended up second place in the region. At the state, they were 0.5 points away from finishing in the top 5 in the state. So congratulations to the cheerleaders there as they've started their off-season work and are getting ready for the next year as well. Some other things that our coaches sent to us, and believe it or not,
Joe. No, it's not Joe.
Not Joe.
Yeah, not Joe. And it's not Austin Bryant. Austin, of course. Now, he played basketball here at Central, but he and I'm talking about winning a national basketball championship, not football, a national basketball championship as a basketball player. There's only one guy, and that's it, and he's a Yellow Jacket. Katie Gaston sent me a thing about the dance team, which is now a competition sport. And they're going to be having tryouts coming up in about a month. And they're hoping to have a big turnout for that.
We just did a competition not too long ago.
Yeah, and she said it went really, really well. Let's see. Emma Ray Smith signed a scholarship, tennis-wise.
Fantastic.
And she is a senior, has signed with Georgia Southwestern. She is in her 4th year of play. Great student with a fantastic academic record. And that's really, really cool. And then our cross-country team, which competes back in the fall. Rosalie Wilson wanted me to talk about Braxton White and Cadence Cornelia. Braxton was the team captain, did a fantastic job with his leadership, his positivity, and his sharing of himself with younger athletes. He was star student this year and is attending Georgia in the fall. And then Cadence is not only a team captain, she is our girls scholar athlete for the season, but she's also a standout runner. She is the fastest time. Her fastest time for the 5K, which is 3 miles, is under 20 minutes.
Wow.
Now, I'm going to flat tell you what. If you see me running 3 miles, my truck's broke down. Or the law's after me.
Or about to say something's behind you.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm being chased.
Knock somebody else down to keep going.
That's the truth. That something's after me or the truck broke down. Or maybe a combination of the two. Could be. But those are good youngins, and we appreciate the update on those.
And speaking of Rosalie, congratulations to her. She was Teacher of the Year for Garrison Pilcher this year.
That's right. So winners all around.
Yeah.
Our girls basketball team made a deep round into the playoffs. They finished 3rd in the region, but their overall record was 21-8. That's pretty sporty. And made it to the state playoffs and had 2 1,000-point club members, Tia Floyd and Vasha Giddens, both scored over 1,000 points in their career. So how about that?
I'm going to say this. Coach Maston, he is one of my favorite coaches on our staff. He is fundamental, and he is thorough. He's a fantastic coach. And it shows, too, because the moment he showed up here at Thomas County, our girls basketball program became legit real quick, and those girls play hard. A huge congratulations to them on a fantastic playoff run.
The boys had a solid season.
A very good season.
They had a very good season. Now, of course, I don't think it went the way they had hoped it would go, but they had a solid year, no question about it.
And we were on the threshold there at the very towards the end of making the playoffs in basketball.
Close.
And if anybody follows Central Yellow Jacket basketball, you know that it, in the past decade, it has been more downs than ups. I mean, I'll say it. But it appears we're on the right track because to even be talking about playoffs in Central basketball, that's a win to me.
You're right. So you're right. No question about it. But thanks to all those coaches for giving us the updates there. Don't forget now, we will have Coach Ryan Strickland coming at about 7:45. We're going to talk about Yellow Jacket baseball.
I'll go ahead us with soccer real quick. The boys, varsity soccer right now are 6-2-1. They won Tuesday at Tiff County, a 3-2 win, and their next match is Friday versus Northside, and I believe that is here. The girls' varsity are undefeated.
Okay.
They're 7-0 in the region.
Okay.
They won Tuesday against Tiff County 5-1, and their match is Friday again against Northside. So doing very well with varsity soccer. So that's impressive to see. And I'm gonna tell you what, that's another program that doesn't get as talked about as much, but has been extremely successful within the past 6 to 8 years. I mean, it has been really, really good.
Let me say 2 words there. Tony Voiles.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Tony is a homegrown product. Yep. He's the coach for the boys and the girls soccer team. Just as good as you're going to find. Now, flat out. And let me frame the flashback one more time, because folks are guessing. So there's only one basketball player in the history of Thomasville and Thomas County that has ever won a basketball national championship at the collegiate level, and he's from Central. Who is it? I'm gonna let it roll for a minute or two.
Tell us what college he played for.
Louisville.
Okay.
Played for Louisville. Played for the Louisville Cardinals. Yeah, everybody's saying Charlie Ward. Charlie Ward.
Nope.
No, Charlie played. And again, now that's a good guess. Yeah. That's a great guess.
It was close.
Yeah. Junior played for the Seminoles, of course. 2-sport athlete, football, basketball. Made it to the Elite Eight, but did not win the national championship. Now, he won the national championship in football.
Right.
And, of course, won the Heisman Trophy and ended up playing 15 years in the NBA. There aren't many stories like that. Yeah, but it's not junior. So we'll let that roll for just a minute or two longer. Now, I will say this, too. I wanted to share this about the football banquet. It is on the 27th at the middle school. Most of the time we have the football banquets at the cafeteria at the high school, but given all of the stuff that's going to be going on, and the fact
bigger space.
Well, we need a bigger space. That's a good way of putting it, Casey. And I think it'll be packed, given the fact that, as Coach Rogers said a little while ago, there'll be some hardware involved. Mm-hmm. But there's some other surprises that are going to be unveiled that night that I think will be very well received. One of them is about 3.5 feet tall and about 4.5 feet tall, wide. And there's one in my office. You saw it.
I did.
Yeah,
yeah, I did. Sorry, I was lost there for a second.
It's very large. I can't believe you missed it.
I was trying to think of who was in your office.
Now that, I hope they're not 3.5 feet tall and 4.5 feet wide. Whoever it is you're thinking about. There we go.
Don't let them get started down a hill is all I got to say.
Coach Rogers says, I need a guard.
Need a walk on.
Okay.
You got me with that one.
So why don't we go ahead and let the cat out of the bag? Yeah. You got that picture, Casey?
It's up.
Daryl Cleveland, who played on the 1976 national championship team for Denny Crum, who was a Hall of Fame basketball coach at Louisville. He is the only basketball player in Thomasville or Thomas County to have won a national championship at the collegiate level. And I'll say this, too. Daryl was just inducted into the Thomas County Sports Hall of Fame this past year. And just as nice as he could be, he still lives in Louisville, manages a business up there. But what was really cool is he wore his national championship ring.
That's cool.
And he was very proud of it, and, of course, needs to be very proud of it.
Yeah.
But that is just another feather in the cap, if you're a Yellow Jacket fan, to know that the only basketball player in city or county that has ever won a national championship at the collegiate level is a Yellow Jacket, Daryl Cleveland. And I remember as a kid when we moved here, going to basketball games, what was cool about Daryl, he was about 6'8" or so, but this is back in the day when you had the huge afro, right?
So he was 7'4".
Man alive. He looked like a giant to me. And what I always remembered about him, I grew up in Jacksonville as a kid. There was a guy named Artis Gilmore, who was the center for Jacksonville. Jacksonville played UCLA for the national championship in 1971. They were the first collegiate team to have 2 7-footers on one team. And Artis Gilmore was 7'1", but he had one of those 2-foot afros. Watching him play in person, it was like he was from another planet. And Daryl Cleveland kind of emulated that. And the other thing about Daryl Cleveland, because we're going to have Coach Strickland call in a minute or two, he and his teammates on that 76 Louisville team invented the high five.
You know, I remember you telling me about that.
Invented the high five.
Go in depth about that, because that's
so. This is the days when you gave people 5, where you lay your hand flat and they give you 5, and then you do it back. It took too long. Daryl said it just took too long because you got 2 motions there, and they just wanted to come up with 1 motion. So instead of laying the hand flat, they just did it like this, so it was kind of equal. And they started the high five, and it was on a nationally televised game against Kentucky, I believe, that they first started doing it, and then it went everywhere.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Something that you think of as just general human motion now.
Yeah. Part of the sport.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
So the high five, from this point forward, everybody watching this tonight, every time you see somebody give a high five, it's connected to Thomas County Central High School.
That's cool.
Might not have existed without Daryl Cleveland coming from Central High School.
We would still be just giving low fives.
We'd be doing a low five, especially with somebody that's 3.5 feet tall and 4.5 feet wide.
That's a real extra low, a low rider 5.
You wouldn't have any choice.
Y'all knew it was going to take a turn at some point, just a matter of when.
Gosh, I'm telling y'all, I don't know what happens here sometimes. Before Coach Strickland calls, I want to say this about our baseball team. They have played one of the most ridiculously difficult schedules I have ever heard of. Yeah. A team ranked in the top 5 nationally, a couple of teams ranked in their classification top 5, and with a really, really young team holding their own.
Coach Strickland, and you'll hear this when he calls, he has got a passion for baseball, and he has done an excellent job of starting a baseball program that never takes a break. It's kind of like Coach Rogers with football. This is his, 365 job. He doesn't have days off. And when they're not in season, they are in camps, they're training, they're batting, they're pitching, and he is developing players. And that, to me, is what makes our baseball program so special, because you can take these young guys that we got and go up against these storied programs. I'll use Ware County as an example. We play Ware County now every year annually with baseball. Yep. Ware County has been a staple in Georgia high school baseball for years and years. Yep. And we play them, and I've seen us beat them. And I think usually we did lose to them, but it was a close game. But he's not afraid to take our baseball team, go to Atlanta, play a whole weekend in Atlanta, and play some of the best teams they have to offer up there, and go up there and beat them, and then come back to South Georgia and then play our region, which is very tough because you got 2 undefeated teams right now with Tift and
Houston
that are both ranked in the top 10
perennial powers
of our classification.
Yep,
and they're going toe to toe with them. So our baseball program is very, very impressive. But like I said, because it's just like football, there's no days off, and it starts and ends with the coaching staff, and it's exactly the same thing as football. You have got a coaching staff there that's got the passion for it. In soccer too, you got a coaching staff there that has the passion for their sport.
Well,
I just heard something going on.
Hey, Coach Strickland.
Hey, how y'all doing tonight?
There we go. That is good timing. Coach, thanks for joining us here tonight.
Yes, sir. You're very welcome. I appreciate y'all having me on.
Hey, we're sitting here bragging about you and the schedule and how difficult. I mean, you must be a sadist or something to schedule some of these folks that you've been playing unbelievably tough.
Yeah, yes, sir. Well, that's always been the goal, since we got here. Is especially with us. I think the first year I was here, we were in 5A, which was brutal enough. If you made it you're able to make the playoffs, you're going to have to go to Atlanta and play your Loganvilles and your schools like that, and then we dropped back down to 4A, and it was still a tough schedule with your North Oconee and those teams out of the Atlanta area, and then back up in 6A, it's the same deal. So if we want to be where we want to be come in May in the playoffs, you got to expose our kids got to be exposed to that kind of pitching quality teams, hitting, lineups that they're going to see, so they understand where we're heading.
Well, especially with a young team.
Oh yeah. Yep. And we got a very young one this year. We've let's see, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, I think, of the sophomores. 3 or 4 of the sophomores, got good quality playing time last year, and so they've got some experience and know what it's like. And then we've got another 2 or 3 in there now that are playing, and one junior and a few seniors, that are pitchers or playing here and there and as well. So it's a good little mix, and you're right with they got to get exposed to it real quick as well. So
that'll pay off down the road. I mean, that's the bottom line.
That's our plan. That's what we hope for, and fortunately we've had some success with that over the past 5 or 6 years. So we're hoping to continue it.
Well, the record right now is 8-5, I believe. Is that correct?
Right.
That's right. Talk about some of your players that have stood out for you that are carrying the team for you.
Oh, well, that's what I love about this team is there's not really, we got some good players, but there's not one guy that we have to say, if this guy ain't hitting or this guy, getting it done, we're in trouble.
Right.
We had 8 hits the other night, and it was I don't think a single person had multiple hits. So it was those hits came off throughout the lineup. We had a freshman coming off the bench, Don McCann, and get a big base knock with runners in second and third in the 7th inning. He comes in and gets a base hit, score 2 runs, and tie the game up against Tifton for us. So we've got a bunch of good ball players. Reed Gaines is our sophomore leading off for us. He's a very, very special kid, can do some special things, but is a teammate as well and a team player. And then 2-hole, we got Braden Payne Jr. for us. He's a special player as well. He was the reigning defensive MVP, defensive player of the year for the region, which says a lot.
Yeah.
For the coaches in our region to nominate him with the other talent that's there, and the select team, and and then Lee McCorkle's come on hot lately here for us. He's a senior in the 3-hole, and he hit a home run in the first inning against Tift County yesterday to put us up 1-0. His bat's been coming around, stroking it well, stepping up now, and we got a sophomore, Nolan Taylor, that's hitting the 4-hole. He's playing to be our catcher and split time with another senior, but now he's had to play second base purely. Our second baseman, Zach Williams, another sophomore, we're waiting to find out some news on his arm and where he's at on throwing. And then
I've heard some really good things about Noah. Now he sounds like he's going to be a stud.
He is. He's a very good ball player for us, and there's been a lot of Taylors.
The bloodlines.
Eli Taylor.
Yep.
Yeah, you got the Eli Taylor from 2016-15 that came through, quarterback and played center field for the baseball team. And then his Slade Taylor, saying that they're cousins. So it's a good little bloodline, coming through there.
Yeah, Austin Taylor was a pitcher back in the day too. Here, who was really, really, really good.
Yep, and Mickey Taylor. Yeah, Taylors have been a hot name around this area. So so he's been good for us, and I got senior Eli Taylor out in center field. It's been also one of our starting pitchers, been phenomenal. Dallas Pitts is a sophomore left-handed pitcher. Has been phenomenal on the mound and in the field for us. Drake Singletary, senior behind the plate, been having to catch every game now, which is taxing on him. Now that we've had to play Nolan at second base every day. Been doing a great job, back there with got some back problems going on, but toughing it out and doing a fabulous job. And I think that pretty much, Landon Walsh is another sophomore for us, starting left fielder pitcher. been doing a great job, and you know, there's a whole bunch of them. But that's what this team, you know, right now that I love and is so great about them is that they're a team, and you know, there's some good ball. There's some ball players, of course. There's ball players better than the other ones, but they don't care. They play together.
You don't have a superstar that everybody says, okay, that's the guy. You shut him down and you beat him.
That's right. Yep. That's right. And so they fight together, and you know, they gave it. You know, Tuesday night was a prime example. Gave us the best 21 outs they could give us, and we were right there at the end of it with Tifton, Tifton didn't graduate a player off last year's team that went to the Elite Eight, and you know, and so they're senior, junior heavy, and very good team, and you know, number 3 in the state. I think they're number 11 in the top. You know, out of all classifications, they're ranked 11th in the state as well. So they're a very talented team, and you know, when we gave them everything we could on Tuesday, and you know, hope to do the same thing tomorrow night. So.
Now, what time is the first pitch tomorrow night, Coach?
We just moved it back to 5:15. We got to let the umpires get here, and so we're going to start doubleheader at 5:15 tomorrow night. Be a good night. It's going to be school board appreciation night. We'll have our school board members out here to throw out the first pitch, you know, for this week, and as it being, like I said, school board appreciation week, so we're excited to have them out as well. After
having watched Dan Stewart play baseball when he was in high school, now be careful if he's the one doing it. I just want to warn everybody behind the backstop. Just say it.
Yeah, he might sell that thing. Is that what you're trying to tell us? I'll give him the best catcher we got then.
I'm not saying he's going to, but I'm not saying I hadn't seen it happen either.
That's right.
Take a minute to brag about on your assistant coaches. I know you got some good folks helping you.
Oh, I do, and that's what makes this whole thing work and whole thing tick. You know, we you know, Trent Dews is an assistant for me. Been here since 2019, and he runs third base for us and coaches little infielders. And Chance Carter's our pitching coach. This is his third year here. Has done an absolutely phenomenal job with the pitchers this year. We got some crazy stats on walks or strikeouts and everything else that, being all sophomores, is you know. Yep. Nothing short of amazing. Eric Fox is a new coach for us this year. Joined us from Thomas University. Spent some time with Savannah Bananas, and you know, to have a coach of his caliber, you know, on staff as an assistant is absolutely, you know, amazing. Has been great for our kids, and what he brings with us with the outfield play, infield play, and base running. And then we have Trent Vischer, our head JV coach, helps out with the varsity. This is his third, fourth year here, I believe. You know, ran our middle school program a couple years back, and then Bill McCullough is helping us at the JV coach. He's football coach, doubling up and helping us out on JV. Spent a little time coaching at North Florida Christian, so there you go. A great coach down there with Mike Posey, and a good program. So they brought a lot of knowledge up here, and then you know, we got a great support staff at the high school with Ms. Ashley Wilt. She helps us out, kind of our director of baseball operations and organizing our travel and paperwork and doing a lot of things for us there. And Justin Amaro, AP history teacher here, runs our stats and game changer program for us. And you know, all those people, you can't. There's a lot you couldn't do without.
That's
them.
right.
And so they make my life easier, make our kids' life easier, and make each other's lives easier. So,
and coaching them up at the same time. Now, listen, if you got somebody with some connections to the Savannah Bananas, we're gonna have some dance moves or something coordinated out there. I want to see that.
Man, we've talked about it. We talked about doing it.
They can do it now with the speakers out there.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah, we got them speakers bumping.
I hear them
out here now. So that's been nice. But yeah, we've dabbled with it, and you know. We talked about having a donut hitter of the game, and you know, and everything else, but try to bring a little fun to it. But yeah. I don't know if we're quite there yet.
I got you. Well, real quick, Coach, region. You talk about a murderer's row. That's not going to be easy either.
No, we're in the middle of it right now. So we started off, you know, veterans we had last week, and they're very good. You know, they played Tifton 3-0. on Tuesday night. I mean, I'm sorry, they played Houston County 3-0 on Tuesday night, and I think they were up 4-3 at one point tonight. So, and we did very well against them.
Took 2 out of 3 from them, I believe.
Two out of 3. That's right. We walked it off in the first game. Braden Payne hit a home run to walk it off, and then they walked it off on us up there. We kind of made some mistakes here and there we shouldn't have, but then we responded real quick and put it on 6-1 the third game. So
yep.
But yeah, so we got veterans, and then now we got Tifton this week, and then we turn around next week at Houston County, who's number whatever in the nation, and just a fabulous program and
perennial power.
Perennial power. Yeah, state champions last year and won it again. 2 years before that. So yeah, something we look at and say that's where we want to be and get to, and think we're heading in that direction with what we got.
No doubt.
All the way down and down to our 6th grade group. Our 6th grade group is absolutely 6th and 7th grade group, 8th grade group, phenomenal down in our middle school. So
that's awesome.
But yeah. So then we turn around. We got Lee County. Lee County the week after that, and of course Lee County and the history they have with baseball and players they got. It's it don't get easy. So.
Well, Coach, it sounds like it's a great opportunity for fans to come out and support you guys. It's a very, very good team, and those young guys probably would feed off of that energy. We need to make sure we get those folks out there.
Oh yes, it would be awesome, and we've gone through spurts on it. I remember in 2019 with the team that we had, fans have out there with just like football this year with the with the kettlebells and the noisemakers, that kind of energy at a baseball game is amazing too.
Maybe those football fans can bring those horns with them. That's what they need to do.
They get out there and bring that. It's a different environment, and but that's what everybody always says about coming to play here is they know it's going to be loud. They know it's going to be that we have a good crowd, and it's one thing teams have to prepare for when they come here is that people are passionate about Thomas County Central. Not just baseball, football, whatever, basketball. Right. Yeah, fans here, the community, the people, they love and support everything, and that's you don't find that many places.
Well, those fans give us a home field advantage regardless of what the sport is, and that's what you want.
Exactly right.
Well, Coach, listen, thank you for calling. We'll look forward to talking to you again in a couple of weeks, and we'll catch up, and best of luck in the upcoming games. Looking forward to seeing how it turns out.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, Randy. Thank you, guys.
We'll talk to you.
Thanks, Coach.
Yes, sir. Bye.
Again, you talk about a guy that can coach them up.
He's a 365 coach every day.
The same process. Yeah. It's amazing to me that the football program goes through, and I know we use football as the measure stick, but the baseball program has the exact same type of thing. It's year round. It doesn't stop.
With baseball, you have to develop sectional talent with less to pull from, if that makes sense. Like, you get 100 guys for football, it's your job to find 24 really good ones.
Right.
You got 22 that's going to be on the field, 2 to fill them up. With baseball, you've got 30.
Yeah, that's it.
And you've got to find 9 that are solid.
Yep.
And then you got to find 5 more to be able to pitch.
Yep.
So it is tough. But Coach Strickland has done an outstanding job to be able to fulfill that role.
I think it's Obadiah Farley asking if they can bring the horns. Heck yeah, you can bring those horns. Bring the horns.
I guarantee you, our ticket people ain't going to stop you.
That ain't not going to. Yeah. Don't tell them we told you to do it, but just you can. Just saying, that's a home field advantage. By the way, have you seen those cups that the like a Tervis type thing that's got the noisemaker on?
Those would be a nice souvenir cup from the concession stand or something.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it. Well, we'll see.
Hey, you never know.
You never know. Never know. Especially if we're playing like Marist or Rome or somebody, make them feel at home.
Yeah,
that's what they're expecting.
Yeah,
just saying. Okay, guys, we're going to get ready to wrap up. Thank y'all so much for checking us out tonight. And again, we'll be back not next week, but in 2 weeks on the 28th. And we'll check back in with Coach Rogers. We'll check back in with Coach Strickland. We'll try to get Coach Voiles and talk to him and update you on all the stuff. Brian, thank you, man. This is cool.
I've enjoyed it. We will share the link to rewatch the show, and we will share the link for the podcast format. So if anybody is interested in watching the show later in the next 2 weeks, you can listen to it or you can watch it.
And I also want to thank Casey Massey. Casey, the tech master himself. This would not have happened without Casey Massey.
It would have been this right here.
Yeah, that's right.
If it had been up to us.
Yeah.
He is a godsend, and Lord knows we couldn't do it without him.
You've been called a lot of things, but godsend, that's probably a first.
I would say that's definitely a first.
Well,
usually it's something else whenever, the streams aren't working.
Y'all didn't hear me talking about him before, though. See, that's the thing.
That's right. So, again, we appreciate you guys being here. Hope you enjoyed this, and we're looking forward to making this a regular part of what we do from this point on so that the Jacket Nation can stay in tune with everything that's going on inside the world of Yellow Jacket athletics until we meet again in 2 weeks. For Brian Davis and Casey, the Tech Master, Massey over there running things, this is Randy Young. Have yourself a great couple of weeks. We'll talk to you then. Go Jackets.